me going over the reviews. So in case you want to do it, watch me do it, or when you get time to go over certain problems and you want to hear how I would explain it. Here we go. So a roller coaster leaves the boarding area at a steady speed. It moves slowly as it climbs, increases speed as it descends before coming to a stop at the end of the ride. Choose the graph best describes the situation. I think the last almost just before coming to a stop at the end of the ride. So if it stops, it means its speed must stop. And this speed is high, and this speed is low. So it has to be that one. Steady speed, slow, super fast, slower, super fast, slow, 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 slow. So it must be that. Alright, gizmos cost $1.25 each. Sketch a graph to show the total cost if a customer buys 0, 2, 4, or 6 gizmos. Okay. All right. And it says, tell whether graphs should be continuous or discrete. Well, this should be discrete, because gizmos can't be broken down into smaller parts, so we can't connect the points, something like that. You can't have half a gizmo. That means you can't draw a line between them, because that would imply that there's half a gizmo. So you can only use a discrete thing there to represent this problem. All right. Express the relationship as a mapping. I know my domain are x, so I got a -2 for x, 2 for x, and a 5 for x, and a -2 for x. But we already have -2. I have a 3 for the range, 3 for the range. 1, 3. 3 for the range, and we have a 4. Okay. Now we just have to connect them. -2 goes to 3. 2 goes to 3. 5 goes to 3. And -2 goes to 4. That means we are looking, well, that's mapping. But if I asked you if it was a function, do you know? Yes or no? The answer is no. -2 has 2 outputs. All right, is this relationship a function? Explain. It is not a function. Why? Because, to give you an example, the input of 2 has 1, 2, 3, 4 outputs. Has 4 outputs. Not exactly 1, right? Each input, each domain can only have 1 member of the range with it. Zooming is acting weird. Markers here. Okay. So number 5. Here I go. Tell whether the relation is a function. Provide evidence. Okay. It's hard for me sometimes to tell if it's a function list, but let me see. -4 goes to 0. -3 goes to 0. -2 goes to 1. 1 goes to -2. Oh, here it is. No. -3 has 2 outputs. 0 and 4. Okay. Write an equation and function notation for each situation. The cost of membership is $21 plus $5.50 per month. So g of x equals 21 plus 550 per month, something like that. Airport parking is available for $8 a day. I don't know. Parking of x equals 8x. Okay. Here's this function. Find f of -3. So that takes -3 and put it, this is your input, and put it into your rule. So f of -3 equals absolute value of 1 minus -3 over 2 plus 2. This can cancel. Boom, boom. So 1 plus 3 is 4. So the absolute value of 4 over 2 plus 2. And then absolute value of 4 is 4 divided by 2 plus 2. Well, the answer is 2 plus 2, which is 4. So f of -3 equals 4, and that's your answer. Okay. Number 8, identify the independent and dependent variables. What type of correlation exists between the two variables? Positive, negative, or no correlation? Okay, the length of your hair and the number of days since you last cut it. Okay, so I would say the length of hair and the number of days since cut. So your length of your hair depends on how many days since it was when it was cut. So the length of your hair is dependent on how many days since it was cut. You're independent. Okay. Alright, now we have to decide, is it a positive, negative, or no correlation? Let's see. As the number of days since you got a cut goes up, the length of your hair is also going to go up. So that is a positive correlation. Okay. Let's graph the function. So I give you the table here, so it's pretty straightforward. You just have to plug in and do the math. So if we plug in x, -3 squared is 9, 9 minus 3 is 6, -2 squared is 4 minus 3 is 1, -2, -3, -2, 1, 6, and 13. Okay, and I can connect them. There's nothing stopping me from connecting them. And there you go. That's your graph you got. All right, we'll keep going with the review. Okay. So what is the range of this relation? So range is the y values, which is also the outputs. Okay, so what are the range of this relation? So range is y values, so here's y. Okay, 5 is not used. Is 4 used? Yes. Everything down below 5. -2 is used, -3, but nothing below -3 seems to work. So we're going to say that it's from -3 less than or equal to y, which is less than or equal to 4. High is 4, low is -3, so between -3 and 4. Let's see, do we see it anywhere? Boom, right there. Okay, what's the 37th term in the sequence? Well, the rule is to find any term, take the first term, plus the term you're looking for in parentheses, -1, times the common difference. And the common difference is found by finding the difference between these numbers. So common difference, which we call D, is -2. Yep. All right, so we multiply that by -2. So what is our operation? What's if there's parentheses do the work? 37 minus 1 is 36. Then multiplication comes before addition. You get 4 plus -72. and then negative 68 is your answer. Okay, which values are in the domain of this function? All right, with a range of this. So we want to know what in the domain goes in the range, right? So what do these connect to? Well, we have our rule, and we have what output it is, right? So if I put 2 in to the function, I get -1. All right, so this is one of the answers because 2 outputs, 2 outputs -1. Sweet. 4. I think 4 works. Let's try. -6 times 4 plus 1. -6 is -24 plus 11 is -13. Okay, so 4 puts out -13. And we need one more, and just for time-wise, it's 6. So 6 is the last one. We get 6, 4, 2. They output these inputs, put out those outputs. Okay. 12. What's the value of the function when evaluated when x is 2? Okay, that's easy. 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 2. 4 minus 10 plus 2. 2 equals -4. Boom. There we go. All right, Tanya's printing a report. There are 100 sheets of paper in the printer. The number of sheets left after t minutes is given by the function p of t equals -5t plus 100. How long will it take for the printer to use up all 100 sheets? Okay, so it's got 100 sheets, right? And this function says -5t, so minutes. Okay, so what if I put 1 into this function? Well, it would be -5 times 1 plus 100. So that would be -95. Sorry, not -95, positive. So after 1 minute, t, we get 95 pages left. And then you're left with 90 left after 2 minutes. 3 minutes, 85 left. So I think it's going to take 20 minutes because -5 times t plus 100 times 20 equals, yep, so 20 minutes. What's the domain of this function? Well, domain is x values. Our x value is time. So from 0 to 20, where 0 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 20. Your range is your outputs. That's the number of pages left. Okay, so you could have 0 pages left all the way up to 100 pages. So from 0 to 100. Okay. This function h of t describes the height and feet of an object t seconds when it's launched upward from the ground at initial speed. Okay. What's the domain of this function? What's the range? Well, the domain is x, so the lowest number is 0 and the highest number is 7. So 0 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 7. That's your domain. And the range, which is your y values, right? So the lowest y value is 0. The highest y value, it says, is 196. So everything in the middle must work. right, so it says find h of 2. 2 is your input, and 2 is your x value. Right, so obviously it wants what is the x value. When x is 2, it's here. So let me go up and see. Okay, boom, right there. H of 2 is 160. That's x, and that's y. Great. What's h of 7 tell me? Well, that says 7 seconds. The object is 0 feet off the ground. Which of the following best describes a negative correlation? Okay, a negative correlation means it goes up and down. Height of a person over time. As the height of the person increases as time goes on for a certain point when they grow up. Depth of the swimming pool as it drains over time. As time goes up, the depth is going to decrease. Okay, so that is a negative correlation. Let's see. All right, that was it. All right, that was the review. Hopefully it went well. We can always ask more questions as we go.